somebody would be paying about $750 per year. So I could say then that you're spending a minimum of about $750 a year that you're paying to have that loan, or you're paying to have that charge on that credit card, or whatever the case may be. Now, if you just do the math on that, $750 a year or $63 a month coming out of the average person's pocket on that debt, not counting the house, that they're just giving away to carry that. Now, you think about that in the church, $63 a month being paid in interest. If I said $63 times 200 people per month, that's $12,600. That would be paid per month with 200 people. If I'd done that by the year, that would be $151,200 that I can look out in our congregation and say that amount of money is being spent on interest. Now, watch this. So that means if all of us were out of debt, I'm just dealing with 200 people, if all of us were out of debt and we had that money, that would be $151,200. Now, if you're giving that money away, if somebody took that same money and gave it to the church, then that's just 10%. That's how much better off we could be. We could have raised $151,000 more dollars. Now, I don't know about you, but I can think of a lot of ministry that I could do with $151,000. How about you? Yeah, some of the stuff that we say we may need and all of that, then those things can be satisfied and taken care of pretty quickly, all right? Now, I just wanted to throw that out there because I wanted to kind of give you some practical components about what do you do with money, how do we handle that, how can we get out of debt, how can we be better, what's the financial order of me handling my money? That was a question that did come up. Somebody wanted to know, what's the 1, 2, 3 thing should I do when I'm handling my money? Now, you can look at, when you study this or think about this, you can look at various shows, podcasts, whatever else. I kind of look at an array of things when I'm studying things out, and just as self-improvement, I like the Money Guy show. You ever heard of Dave Ramsey? Dave Ramsey, he does a lot on finances. And so there are several people out there to talk about this kind of a thing. And so you can look at some of those, and they probably will have similar things that what I would say, and I would take a mixture of what they say. And no matter what, if I say it, somebody else say it, or whatever, if it's in the area of finances, pretty much it's going to be the same thing. Okay? So now, here's what I want to do. What do you focus on? What is the financial order as it relates to my money? So if I've got money, what do I do with my money? How do I get myself together financially? How do I become financially astute? Or how do I become financially free, walk in financial freedom? How many of you would love to be financially free? No debt, plenty of money, ready for retirement and all that stuff. I think that's everybody, right? I think that's everybody. Well, let's talk about a couple of things that we can do to move ourselves in that direction. So again, what to focus on as it relates to financial order. If I had to do a 1, 2, 3 kind of a thing, how would we lay that out? How would I lay that out? Okay, so here we go. If you're taking notes, jot these things down. If you're taking notes, jot them down mentally. You can jot them down in your head if you don't have pencil or paper. But let's see, I think Theatra said she was going to be on. I don't know who's working the thing, Minister Natasha. Okay, you're going to log into it also. So there's some notes and all, some 1, 2, 3 things that I wanted to kind of make sure that I mentioned to you. Okay, so I want to have a financial order of how I need to manage and what I need to do to make sure I'm moving in the right direction. Now, some of these things you might already have in place. If you don't have them in place, then I'd just like to put them out there for your consideration, all right? So I want to get myself together financially. Here's how that's going to look. 1, 2, 3. Number 1, save at least maybe $1,000 for your starter emergency fund. Save at least $1,000 for your starter emergency fund. Now, some of these things I've mentioned before, but I mention them again because I'm doing it in this particular order. How many of you have ever had something unexpected come up that you had to deal with? Right? That's everybody, right? Had something to come up. The tire blew out on the car. The roof started to leak. The ice machine maker went out in the washer, in the refrigerator. Something happened. The transmission went out in the car. Something happened where you ended up having to, you run into a situation in which you had to spend some money, right? Some stuff happened, you're going to have to spend money. So if you got a job and you're going to your job and your car break down, you got to get it fixed, right? So it ain't no thing of, oh, I'm going to put that off. No, I got to get that taken care of. So because emergencies come up, you want to always have money set aside to deal with those emergencies. So to get my financial order in place, I want to, first of all, save at least $1,000 for your starter emergency fund. That is what I'm going to do with my money, and when I get my check, whatever it is, I'm going to have a stash over here. I'm going to try to put at least $1,000, put it to the side, and watch this. A purse or shoes or a fishing rod on sale ain't no emergency. I didn't get no amens. Right? That's not an emergency. Somebody going out because they got crab legs on sale at the Beau Rivage, that ain't no emergency. Right? So I want to have that money set aside and put it up for emergency. So I want to have it where I can put my hands on it. So that means literally I'm taking money every week or every 2 weeks or every month or whenever I have whatever, and I'm making sure that I've got that money set to the side. Now you can have that in just a savings account or whatever, but just have it where you can get your hands on it, right? Everybody got number one. All right, here's number two. Pay off all debt except your house if you have that. Pay off all debt. Dealing with the 1, 2, 3 thing. Pay off all debt except your house. House normally is the big one, depending upon where you are. So we're just saying here, pay off all debt except the house. Put in this, pay off all debt using the debt snowball. Pay off all debt using the debt snowball. Anybody know what the debt snowball is? All right, good deal. All right, so pay off all debt. Now, in order to pay off all debt, you got to know all debt, right? You got to know what it is that you have. What bills do you have? I want to look at everything, what bills that I have that I'm paying a note on every month or whatever, and I want to know what those bills are. And when I see what those bills are, then here's what I want to do. I want to pay off those debts using the debt snowball. So I want to list those debts. I got 7 things, so I'm going to list those 7 things out. I owe $2,000 on this, $500 on that, $7,000 on this. I want to list them all out and list them out with the smallest first. List them out with the smallest first. What are you paying? What are you paying on that? The smallest first. So I've got this bill that's $500, and I got to pay $50 a month on it. Okay, that's the first one that I have. The biggest one I have is $7,000, and I'm paying $400 a month on that. So I'm gonna take that bill that's only $500. This is snowball, right? I got that one, then that one, then that one, then that one, then that one, depending upon how much it is. So the smallest one is $500. So what I want to do first is I want to attack that bill. Okay, that means extra money that I get. Whatever it is I'm doing, I'm putting on that bill. Now, all the other bills, I'm just going to pay the minimum amount. Whatever the minimum amount is, I'm just going to pay it. Okay, I'm going to pay it. But I'm going to attack that smallest one. So if I get $100 bonus or somebody give me birthday money, whatever the case may be, I mow a yard, whatever the case may be, I want to make sure all the money that I can, you know, of course you're going to take care of your tithing and all that stuff and expenses or whatever, but all the money I can, boom, I'm hitting that bill because it's $500 and I'm paying $50 on it a month, all right? I'm going to attack it till it's gone. Okay, ever how long it take. Now, if you focus on something, you can get her done, can't you? right? So let's say then I get it done. This is a snowball. So I get it done. Now it's paid off, and I've got $50, right, that I don't have to pay. I don't have to be spending that out. Now I move to the next one. And let's say the next one is $1,000 that I have to pay. Now, whatever it is, the minimum amount, I'm paying it. Now I got $50 extra. So I'm putting the $50 extra with the minimum amount, and I'm attacking that. All the money I get, I'm attacking it. And you do the same thing for the next. Because what you're now doing is you're building money, and you're having more money to put on the next one. And you attack it, and you keep on attacking it. And again, if you're listening, this is very practical. You keep on attacking it because I need to knock it out. Now it's snowball, so I'm going right down the list to try to make sure that I eliminate all my debt. Now, here is something that I need to mention to you if you're trying to get your financial house in order and you're dealing with this. When you pay off a bill, don't make another. Right? When you pay it off, don't say, woo, I done paid off all these bills. I got $300 extra, and now I can go buy whatever. No, you don't want to do that. You want to make sure that you attack it, pay it off, and keep going with your snowball effect, okay? That was number two. So number one was what? Save at least $1,000 for your starting emergency fund. Number two is what? Pay off all debt using the debt snowball. Here's number three. Save at least 3 months of expenses in a fully funded emergency fund. Save at least 3 months of expenses in a fully funded emergency fund. Now, what we would say a fully funded emergency fund is this. It's having enough money set aside so that if you lose your job, typically, then you don't go in the hole, but you got enough time to recover and get back on your feet. So how you do that is if you say a 3 months, a fully funded emergency fund, that works out like this. Figure out what your monthly bills are. How much does it take for you to live per month? Okay? If you say it takes me, if you go through and figure out all your stuff, you say it takes me $5,000 a month to live, then $5,000 times 3 months is $15,000. So that means for my fully funded emergency fund that I need $15,000 set aside over here. That's what I'm doing with my money. So when I'm getting money in, I'm making sure that I got the emergency fund. I'm making sure that I'm involved in paying off my debt. Now, once I do that, now I am trying to make sure I got a fully funded emergency fund there. And so if it's $15,000, then I'm just saving. I'm keep on saving and working on it till I get that $15,000. Now, got that $15,000 there. Don't just leave it just sitting in the bank. I mean, that can be making a little money, but you need to be able to put your hands on it. Now, you don't want to invest that and get tied up into investing that, meaning in mutual funds and stocks and all that kind of stuff. You don't want to do that, because that's for your emergency fund. You need to be able to put your hands on it. So you can do CDs, certificate of deposits, high yield savings accounts at the bank now, where they will pay you something. I think Trustmark has a CD, 4-point-something%. Well, that's better than nothing. Okay, so you can put it there. And that way, if you need it, you can put your hands on it. But here's the big thing. Hopefully you won't need it, but here's the big thing. If something were to happen where, if you're involved in tech companies now, if you watch the news, they're laying off thousands and thousands and thousands of people. Well, if you get laid off from your job or whatever, then you ain't got to panic, because you got at least 3 months of expenses already saved up. So that means your house is going to be note going to be paid, your car is going to be paid. That means you're going to have food to eat. That means whatever utilities you got, because you got that money stashed back. Now, that'll make you feel better. Because listen, I got laid off my job. They terminated my contract or whatever the case may be, but I'm not in panic mode, because I know I at least got 3 months to start to search and rebuild and all of that kind of a thing. So make sure that you do have a 3 to 6 months expenses in a fully funded emergency fund. Here's number 4. because I'm on my way to financial freedom. I'm trying to develop myself. These are the 1, 2, 3 things that you can do. Number 4, invest at least 15% of your household income in retirement. Invest at least 15% of your household income in retirement. In retirement. So that's real easy. 15%, whatever it is that you make. Let's see here. Let's see if I can do it real quick here. And those that are listening, this is the class tonight. It's dealing with finances. So if I say my salary is $500 a week times 15%, that's $75. So I'm going to save $75 a week. Okay, $75 a week. All right, $75. Typically, we won't do it by the week. So I'll say $75 times 52 is $3,900. That divided by 12 is $325. So I'm saving, if my salary is $500 a week and I'm saving 15%, that means I'm saving $325 a month. I'm putting that back. I'm putting that back. I'm putting that back. And I'm doing that in a retirement. I'm doing that in a retirement account. Because, watch this, and all of us in here can attest to it. If you keep living, your footsteps going to grow short. Your hair's going to reach for the grays. Or, if you're like me and Richard, you ain't going to have no hair. Okay, so they older than us, man, but they got us beat tonight, man. These brothers got us beat. They still got hair. They still holding on. But time would change, right? And I don't know. I'm telling you, if some young people are listening at me, man, time passes. You'll be staring at retirement before you know it. Okay, and so you want to make sure that you have some money set aside for that. Now, if you're depending on Social Security only, okay, let me say that. If you're depending on Social Security only, then that's going to be tight and tough. Okay? All right, so what I want to do, if I'm in position, I want to think about this while I'm young, while I'm working in my heyday, right? So instead of buying tailor-made suits and instead of going on all these trips that you don't have to go on, instead of for Christmas trying to buy something for everybody at your office and half them folk don't know you or like you, save some of that money. Was that too ugly? Is that okay? Okay, thank you. All right. Save some of that money. Save money. Put money aside. And you want to put that up for retirement. Now, if you're involved in working on a corporate job or some kind of job where they offer retirement benefits, then make sure you plug into that. Something that used to be popular would be like the 401k savings plans and those kinds of things. Then plug into that. You can talk to a human resource on your job. Look at some of those things there to see what it is that they offer. When I used to work for Hardee's Restaurant, thank God for a lady that was my supervisor, a white lady. She actually came here years ago, Debbie Quimby. She taught me about that as a little kid. Just started working. She pulled me to the side and she said, Terry, have you're in, I think I had started to be in management. I was assistant manager. And she pulled me to the side. She said, have you enrolled in the 401k savings plan? I said, no, ma'am. I didn't know what a 401k savings plan was, but she was very gracious. I said, no, ma'am. And it rocked on for a year or so. And she asked me again, she said, have you enrolled in the 401k savings plan? I said, no, ma'am. And thank God for this older white lady who took a liking to me. She said, I'm going to order that paperwork for you, and you better enroll in it. And that's what I did. She ordered the paperwork for me, sat me down, and said, you're going to enroll in this plan, and you're going to save some money for retirement. And she did that, and I enrolled in that. And I'm glad I did. I'm glad, way back then, I'm glad I did. Man, that was a blessing. Watch this. It still is a blessing. You hear me? It still is a blessing. I don't mean to be too personable, but I had money in that. All those years, saving money. And there were some years that the stock market done pretty good. And watch this. People laugh at you, talk about you. Yeah, you work at that Hardee's, flipping hamburgers. Well, those hamburgers I flip helped me build that house out there. You with me? Because when they wanted such and such a down payment, then I just wrote and said I need to withdraw such and such out of my whatever, and I took care of it. You with me? So if you got that, take advantage of that on your job if you can do that, but at least try to get up to 15%. You say, well, if I don't have it on my job, there is something called an IRA, individual retirement account. You can do that. Now, when you get into that, listen, and I'm going to say this like this, Deacon Flosdale, and I hope I don't offend nobody. Listen, black people, don't be scared to, and I'm not talking about everybody, so don't write me no hate mail. Don't be scared to ask questions. Don't be scared to inquire. Don't be scared to sit down and talk with someone about finances. You with me? Open up and let's do that. Listen, I know there is some stigma that may be out there, and probably for good reason. Okay, and I'm not minimizing that, and I hope nobody don't send me no hate mail over this. I'm not minimizing that, but all banks ain't trying to take your money. You understand what I'm saying? Everybody that works in the financial field, not necessarily trying to take your money. Now you have to vet that out and make sure. But if you're not for sure, listen, you can go to the bank. If you do banking at a particular office, you can go in there and talk to a loan officer or investment person. If you got money in there, you're paying them. Okay, I'll say that again. If you got money in the bank, you're paying them. So watch it. You can go in there and talk to them about it, and they can help set that up. You can go to an independent person as it relates to a reputable, I will say that real clear, reputable people, Raymond James Financials, Edward Jones. You can go to all kinds of, and I hate to just call names, you can go to all kinds of companies like that and tell them, listen, I'm getting ready to do a savings account, and I need you to walk this through with me. And they'll be glad to sit down and do that and open up the account, and all you got to do is just put the money in it, and obviously it would be invested, and it's something that you can, listen, on your phone you can track it. Okay, technology is amazing. I got something with personal stuff, some personal stuff with E-Trade, because I like to fool around with that sometimes. I can look right now and tell what I got. I have a personal financial person that helps with that, and watch it. And I invest and all that kind of thing. But every move, even though that the financial person, financial planner for me, even though they are doing the stuff, I track everything they do. I can watch everything they do. So I'm not scared of losing this or losing that or whatever the case may be. But my point there is invest 15% of your household income into retirement, because retirement is going to be staring you in the face one day. Okay? And you want to make sure that you have something set aside for that. Here's number 5. Plan and save for special projects. Plan and save for special projects. You say, well, what do you mean by that? Remember now, number 3 or number 2, I came out of debt. I started attacking those debt things, okay? So now what I'm going to do is, because now I got extra money, because I'm not debt loaded with all that debt, now I got a room. Here's how my daddy said it in Queensburg: I got some breathing room. Okay, everything come in, it ain't all going out. So plan and save for special projects. You say, what is that? Well, I can tell you, if you keep driving that car, you're going to need another one pretty soon, right? Plan and save for special projects. I can tell you, if you put a roof on 15 years ago, and by 5 more years, what's going to happen? You're going to need another roof. So you know that these things are going to happen. Watch it. You can even have a car. I can tell you, you're going to need a new set of tires after 20, 30,000 miles, right? So what I'm saying there is save money. You want to save and plan and save for special projects that you know is coming up, so that stuff won't hit you and be like, man, I can't believe that. I gotta buy a new refrigerator. Lord, I don't know where I'm gonna get the money. Well, you know you had that refrigerator for 40 years. Your mama had that refrigerator. Your mom and dad gave you that refrigerator. You thought it wasn't gonna wear out? You follow what I'm saying? So I know that these things are coming, and because I know that they're coming, then I'm able to put back money and plan for that so I'm not caught by surprise as it relates to that. So that's number 5, plan and save for special projects like a car or home repairs if needed. And if you don't have a home or whatever else, and you say, well, I want to buy my own home or whatever the case may be, then that's part of the saving. You want to save money to make sure you're able to pay a decent down payment, at least 20%, that you want to be able to put down on that particular home so you can avoid PMI, stuff like the insurance, some of those specialty insurance things. You want to make sure you're able to get a good, reasonable note or whatever the case may be. But I got to have money set aside. So a good 20%. Put to the side. So if your house was $100,000, I'm going to buy a house that costs $100,000, then I want to be able to at least put $20,000 down on it. Okay? So that means then I'm saving. I'm putting back money. I'm saving for that particular thing. Here's number 6. Save for your children's college fund. Save for your children's college fund. Now, obviously, all these things that I'm saying ain't going to hit everybody. But you have to, so you skip over the one. If you ain't got children ain't dealing with that, you just skip over that one, okay? You understand what I'm saying there? But if you are in that situation where you have children, they're small children or maybe even grandchildren, and you want to be able to help them out because you now are in a better position financially, then watch this. Do you not know that student loans, or let me just back up and say it this way, going to college, to universities and all that stuff nowadays is expensive. I got some witnesses in the room. It's expensive. It's expensive. It's expensive. It's a lot more expensive than what it was when I was coming through, all right? I remember when I graduated high school, and I went to Southeastern Baptist College in Laurel. And there was a 2-year college, a 2-year Bible college. And I went there, and the first semester, I'd done the paperwork stuff and getting ready to go to school. And the first semester, man, I didn't know how in the world, Minister Tasha, I want you to listen to this carefully. I didn't know how in the world I was going to make it and come up with that money. Okay? It was $1,650. Y'all hear me? It was $1,650. Boy, I saw all that money. Like, where in the world am I gonna get all this kind of money from to go to school for this semester? And watch this. Okay, here you go. Here's a good one. Somebody gonna tell me I'm lying on this one, Bro Ruffin. That was including staying on campus. I'm telling you the truth. That was staying on campus with the meal plan. I'm serious, man. So watch this. That was way back when. Try that today. It's expensive. You're talking thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars for kids to go to school now. Okay, expensive, which means then that what most people would do then is that they would take out student loans. But if you take out student loan, you got to pay it back. And so I know some people that's in their 50s still paying back, right? Still paying back, trying to pay all the, and you should, you need to pay it back. And depending upon what college you're going to and all that stuff, school can be expensive. So what we want to do is, I want to be able to help the next generation. See, I want to be able to help the next generation. So if I got children, if I can get them through school without having taken out student loans, then I help set them up for success. Does that make sense? And so that's what I want to do. I want to save for your children's college fund. Now you can do that with what's called a 529 college savings plan, ESA. That's an education savings account. And you can do that. And again, financial advisors can help you out with that. You can just tell somebody what you're trying to do, and they can do that for you. But that means then you can put money in I think this will be tax-free. You could put money in, and tax-free, that money sits there and grows, it's invested or whatever else. So if there's a, say I have a grandkid, if I have a grandkid, then with that grandchild, if I start now putting money back and helping them, because watch, remember, I ain't paying all that interest on debt because I ain't got no debt, because I've attacked all that stuff. So if I put money in now, and watch this, what kind of birthday present could that be, or a graduation present, I should say, could that be for a child, right? To say, your college education is paid for. All you got to do is go to school and concentrate on them books, is what my mama would say. You understand? And now that puts that person in a lot better position, because you and I want to be thinking, and sometimes we want to do this, think generationally. When we get ourselves together, listen, I'm looking around the room, and I can tell in here now, those that are in here, and Minister Natasha, you may have to help me out online. Look online and glance, and you can probably tell. I guarantee you, all the people that are, majority of the people that are online, all the people that are in here, for the most part, we had to start from scratch. Right? I mean, it wasn't like, for most of us in here now, it wasn't like we had a whole lot when we left home. Right? You had to work your way up. Now, some of you may be doing pretty good now, and thank God for that. For sure, you're making it. But now, let's not allow our children and grandchildren to have to go through the same thing we went through. See? So let's sort of set them up. Now, if you set them up like that, obviously they need to be in classes like this so that they know how to handle finances. Because they got themselves together, they got a head start, so to speak, and they need to know how to handle that, and they need to know that that's a gift, you know. And so instead of what I hope to do for my grandchild, and ain't nothing wrong with it, if you got it like that, you can do it. But for my grandchild, I'll tell you what I am going to do. At their 18th birthday, if I'm not able to buy them a car, I'm going to have their college taken care of. And I'd much rather have the college taken care of than have them a car. Come on, you understand what I'm saying? I mean, again, if you got it like that and you can, that's fine. No problem with that, but you want to make sure that there are some priorities that is taken care of. I'd much rather have my baby with her college paid for and in a $2,000 or $3,000 car that'll get them from point A to point B. I mean, it's amazing, especially in our community. I might get in trouble for this one, Minister Natasha, but it's amazing how sometimes, boy, we say, I want my children to do better than me. And ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. And I'm not knocking that. I want my child to do better than me, but I think that should be measured. If I'm working and he ain't working, he ain't going to be driving better than me. Okay, y'all got what I'm saying. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, you know, come on now. There needs to be, I want them to do well, but sometimes, y'all, we can ruin our children and our grandchildren by giving them everything that they want. Okay, let me move on. Y'all looking at me funny. Here's number 7. I'll give you 2 more and we're done. Here's number 7. Pay off your home early. Remember at first on number 2, I told you to pay off your debt, pay off, except your house. Okay? So you pay off all this stuff. Now I'm coming back at number 7 saying pay off your home early, because your home typically would be the largest debt that you would have. Now that I've gotten out all the other stuff and I'm working on this, and some of these things you'll be working simultaneously, so now that I'm working through these particular things, now one of the things that I want to do now is I want to pay off my home early. So I got free money now, attack that, and pay that booger off. Become involved in moving into home ownership if you have not, meaning that I own my home and I'm not paying that $800 mortgage per month no more. I'm not paying that $1,000. I'm not paying that $300. Whatever it is, I'm not paying that anymore. I have eliminated that. That's number 7. And here's number 8. Now, watch this. Build wealth and give. Build wealth and give generously. Because you'll be giving all along, but now build wealth and give generously. Now, I'm in a position where I can build wealth now because I can speed up what I am saving, and that money can grow and grow and grow. I got more money than I'm stashing back now that I'm investing, and now I'm able to build wealth because I own my home. I don't have those bills and all that stuff. Now I got money where I can now invest in the stock market or in mutual funds or whatever else it is that I'm involved in doing. Now, I do want to say this. When you're involved in building wealth, and I say this because you and I have to be careful, wealth accumulation takes time. It does not happen overnight. And don't get, I'm offering this for free, don't get caught up into trying to get there. I want to be a millionaire overnight. That ain't gonna happen. Ain't gonna happen. You know, don't worry about that. It takes time. So work the steps, because if you don't work through the primary things first, then you're never gonna get to that part, because you're always gonna be circling back. Always gonna be circling back. So I didn't have no money, and my transmission went out, and I had to go to the payday loan. So I'm back in debt, I'm back in debt, I'm back in debt and all. So I want to make sure that I am accumulating, and in the accumulation stage, then I know that it's going to take time, and I'm just going to keep working it and working it and working it and working it and working it. So one of the things you can do is you can save, like in your 401k, IRA, just put it there and leave it alone. Just put it there, and over years, you'll just see it'll start to grow and grow and grow. As a matter of fact, when you're accumulating wealth, the more money you have, the quicker you can grow. Okay, I'll say that again. The more money you have, the quicker you grow, especially from an investment standpoint. If you can ever get to over $100,000, you know, that's the level that you'll start to see bigger money growing and growing, 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 growing. Okay. And that's important. So I want to grow and grow and grow and grow and grow and grow and grow. I want to allow that to accumulate. I will say this as it relates to the accumulation of wealth. It does take time. Stay away from get rich quick schemes. Thank you. Stay away from that kind of stuff where somebody's promising you something and you know it's ridiculous, you know it's way out there, promising you something for nothing. Don't do it. Don't do it. Stay away from those kinds of things. And you and I have to be careful. And I will say, people can look you straight in your face and lie. Okay? Don't trust some of this stuff that's out there where people say, man, all you got to do is just give this. And man, I'm telling you, man, you're gonna get a 1,000% return, or you're going to get, you know, your money going to double in 2 weeks. Listen, y'all, it ain't happening. Can I tell you something? If my money, if it's guaranteed that my money, whatever investment I make, my money is going to double in 60 days, if that's guaranteed and I see that, then watch this. You ain't going to see, listen, if somebody's making that kind of money, then ask the question, why are they soliciting you? Did you hear that? Because if that's to be made, I'm going to be the one making it. Okay, so be aware of those kinds of things and make sure you're involved in, at that point then, growing your wealth. I can grow my wealth because now I can save more. All right, so my time is up, but let's go back through. Number one was what? Save at least $1,000 for your start emergency fund. Number two is what? Pay off all debt using the debt snowball. Number three is what? Save at least 3 months of expenses for fully funded emergency fund. Number four is what? Invest at least 15% of your household income in retirement. Number five is what? For special projects, yes. Plan and save for special projects. Number six is what? Save for your children's college fund. Number seven is what? Pay off your home early. Number eight is what? Build wealth and give. And I didn't say much about that because now, man, I'm in position now where I can give. I'm always going to give, but I can give at a different level because I got more. If you got more, you can give. That's one of the things that I'm so envious of and I say that in all honesty, with Bill Gates, Oprah Winfrey, and some of those people, man, listen, there are wealthy people that give, and they give major. They give major. And man, I'm just be so envious of that, because I want to be able to give. I would love to be able to give at that level, okay? So if you grow your wealth, then you're able to give like no other. You're able to do some things, man. I'd love to be able to, find somebody that's really, really trying, a young couple that's really, really trying, and they doing everything they can to get that house, and they ain't got the money to do it or whatever else. They looking for just need a break, man. I'd love to be able to buy a $100,000 house. I'd love to be able to walk in there and say, hey, I got your down payment. Don't worry about it. And they looking at me like, well, what's the catch? It ain't no catch. Ain't no catch. Here it is right here. I got it. Y'all gonna get ready to move in your house, man. Ain't that wonderful to be able to do those kinds of things? Or you're in church, you ain't got to worry about that, man. We'll be in church and we come up with a project or whatever, and we say, man, we need we need another van. That came up in business meeting. We need another van. And how much a van gonna cost? Well, and I'm sitting up here. How much a van gonna cost? The van gonna cost about $40,000. About $40,000 to get the van. And when I'm saying that, Deacon Flazell said, well, I got 10,000 on it. Brother Ruffin said, I got the other 10. Brother Thompson said, well, I got 10. Mother Edna over there say, okay, well, that's 30,000. I got the other 10. Boom, we can go on to the next thing. Y'all ain't hear me up in here. We go on to the next thing so you can take care of those kinds of things, let alone what you can do in your own family, because you're now out of debt and in a better position. All right, well, thank y'all so much, man. That's the theology as it relates to that. Was that anyway helpful for you a little bit? Helpful, good information, all right? Any questions? Anybody have any questions online? If you have a question online or something that you might want to ask, you'll do that real quick, and we'll try to answer it if we possibly can, if you'll type it in real quick. Listen, thank y'all so much, man. Finances, as you can see, is one of those areas I love discussing, love talking about. Always had a bent toward that kind of a thing. And I guess I've always had a bent toward it because I ain't never had much finances. As a little kid, I used to always, my mom, my dad, and not anything bad on them, but they done the best that they could. They were not in the best of situations. They grew up on the other side of the track, and there were struggles back in the day and all that stuff. And I always longed, man, I wish we could do this. I wish my family could do that. I wish this. I wish we had more and all that. So I always had a bent toward wanting to know and learn and all. And so when I start to talk about this, I do get excited about that. So thank y'all so much for indulging me on tonight. Father, I thank you for your word. The theology of the ant. Go to the ant, thou sluggard, and watch the ant. Thank you for that, Lord, that we're able to learn something. God, I pray tonight that if somebody's listening, maybe perhaps they don't know you and the pardon of their sin, and maybe they need to give their heart to you. I pray, dear Lord, if someone is listening to me now, if that's them, that they would give their heart to you. Draw them to yourself, Lord. And God, I pray for the saints of God that are in the room and those that are online as we talked about finances, Lord. In our finances, we need you. Somebody maybe is in a situation in which they're trying to figure this thing out. Maybe they're loaded with debt. And they're trying to figure it out. Maybe they're trying to figure what the next move is. Maybe they're trying to make a move for the glory of God. I pray, dear Lord, that you bless them. Order their steps, Lord, that we'll be in a good position financially, not just for ourselves, but so that we can minister more effectively to people. Thank you again tonight for your word. We give your name praise in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. Thank you so much. Thank y'all for indulging me tonight. I don't know if I said it or not. I got kind of excited when the Bible talks about go to the ant. It says that the Bible says, go to the ant, thou sluggard, consider her ways and be wise, which having no guide, overseer, or ruler, provided her meat in the summer and gather her food in the winter. Y'all ever seen the ant? And ain't got nobody in charge, right? You probably seen them. I've seen them. And listen, ants will be in line, won't they? Listen, they work hard in the summer so that they can relax in the winter, right? So they go down there and they store food underground, all that food. You drop something, boy, and listen, I don't know where they come from. You ain't even got to see them, but drop something. Then they come and then they get it and they'll just start working, man, and they'll be following in line and they'll be working. And y'all had the nerve to go and mess up their winter by messing up the ant bed. Messing them up. Shame on y'all. God bless you. Those that want to give tonight, then if online, make sure that you're involved in giving. You can cash out NLFChurchColumbia, NLFChurchColumbia. You can cash up that, or if you're listening from Silvercreek, you can give there, or in McComb, you can give also at each one of those particular locations. Those that are in here, then on our way out, we'll be able to give. There will be a basket over there to my right, all right? Anybody got any questions? Anybody got any questions about anything we discussed tonight? Any questions? Yes, sir. Yes. Yes, sir. The comment was made by someone in the audience because they can't hear that Brother Thompson said we got to be able to teach our children about finances. So in school they learn about math, but we want to be able to teach them about finances and the practical world and all of that. And if there are courses in school along that line, make sure that you get your child involved in it. Let's see, man. I know coming up in my hood, one of the things that I missed out on, and maybe it was just in some African American homes, but for me as a child, Brother Thompson, finances was off limits. My mom and my daddy didn't talk about it as far as what they made, what bills they had. Now I always heard my dad say, you know, ask for some money. Boy, you think money grow on trees? You know, I got bills to pay around here. But as a child, I never saw the light bill. I mean, as a teenager, I never saw the light bill. So all I knew, based on what was said, was that life is hard and it's a struggle. And so that's an area that I try to improve on, at least with my son TJ, to make sure that okay, we're talking about finances and how you handle finances and what you do with money and what you don't do with money and those kinds of things and the value of money. That's why the parents will say, you think money grow on trees? Because we didn't have a value for it. And all. So finance is definitely one of those things that need to be taught for sure. All righty, man. Thank y'all so much for being a part. Don't forget, Sunday, a couple of announcements right before we go. Don't forget, Sunday, we'll have our young men's mentoring. So if they are young men between the ages of 11 and 19, then every second Sunday I'm involved in having mentorship training with them. And watch this, finances is what we've talked about for the last 2 sessions, teaching them about money. And it was kind of funny because I brought $1,000 in there, cash money, and gave it to one of the young men and said, tell me what you're going to do with it. And made them kind of talk through that. But we'll do that mentorship thing on Sunday. We have the men's Sunday school class and women's Sunday school class going on also every Sunday. Don't forget Silvercreek tomorrow at 6:30. And also with the second Sunday, what's going on special the second Sunday? Second Sunday? 2 things. Thank you, Brother Ruffin. Jersey Sunday, if you want to wear your jersey, your whatever you rep your favorite team, you can wear that. You don't have to. And this Sunday, if we got the plans in place, some of our men going to be leading out with devotion. And so was Deacon Flazell down there? Okay, Deacon Flazell is down, a couple of others down. They're going to be leading out with devotion. We'll still do our normal stuff, but they'll be leading out with devotion up front down here. And so we'll make sure that happens, and that will be a blessing. And as we think about Black history, dealing with some of our roots and culture and those kinds of things. The fourth Sunday, we will be involved in African attire. If you got something African you want to wear, that will be happening on the fourth Sunday. The third Sunday, we have special guests. The third Sunday will be the pastor appreciation piece going on. And I hope y'all will be excited about that. I hope y'all plan on coming and being a part. I'm going to be here that third Sunday. I will be here. Tim Hughes, Pastor Tim Hughes, is going to be our guest. He's a great friend and great preacher, and that's going to be happening. And I did ask for particular gifts from the men, the women, and the children. So ain't nobody got to worry about buying me this, that, and don't know what I want. So I'm very bold after 32 years. This is what I want right here. All right? And so we do have that down and all. So I'm excited about that. All right, well, let's stand and get ready to walk out. Did I miss anything? Yes, she can. I'll try to make sure I go back and view, and I'll try to answer that question. So for my sister Lisa or anybody, I don't do a good job of that, but I'll try to go back and do that and review and see if there are any questions, and I'll try to answer those particular questions. Father, we thank you tonight for this time as we walk out of here, Lord. Protect us from any bad weather that may be coming our way. Cover us by your Spirit. As we walk out of here, Lord, we thank you for those that gave in the offering and those who will give. And God, we thank you that you'll bring us back at the appointed time. As we walk out of here, walk with us, stand by us, keep us in your care. We ask it in Jesus' name. Amen. God bless you. Go in peace and serve the Lord. Y'all have a wonderful evening. Thank you, my new member. Kevin.
He was on Bible study.
Your son?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, okay.
He was on Bible study.
Okay, good. Will, did the Last Supper bring in the new covenant? I wouldn't say yes and no, because Jesus said this is the new covenant in my blood when he instituted that.
That's what he was talking about.
Yeah, so that would be a yes for sure. But Jesus himself, that would be it, because when he died, the death, burial, and resurrection, that was the time he was bringing it in. So it was the whole of his life, but we can say that was the time, but that would be a former time, yeah. That it was actually instituted for sure.
So we all going?
Yeah, we all.
Tell your deacon, next time he dig a hole, make sure he dig that side, dig another hole right beside that hole for him.
The one he does for you Sunday?
Yeah.
Oh,
He
just being contrary.
being naughty young man. He'll be okay.
Next time you volunteer.
I saw that. I saw when he set you up. He didn't even ask. He just put you out there.
Yeah.
I have an announcement to make.
Good.
We have a young man who's accepted Christ.
Woo! Woo! Congratulations! Awesome. If you need some sanitizer, hand sanitizer, we got cases back there. If you need hand sanitizer, we got cases back there.